Good day to all of you. I'm Skoller from the Trader Low community, and I'm going to do a weekly forecast for some cryptocurrencies. The weekly cryptocurrencies that we're going to do today are Bitcoin, XRP, Ethereum, and Link. So let's start us off with Bitcoin. Let's have a look. It's been a while since we've looked at Bitcoin on this channel, so I'm just going to redo the whole chart. So as you can see, we really had a very nice breakout after actually achieving this weekly move that brought us to the low. So that's this one. But of course, that has happened quite some time ago. So we're not really looking at that. We're actually wanting to look at this price action. Personally, I do love to mark out these top weekly levels because these will become support. Well, at least we will hope that they become support once we come back down all the way here. I'm not saying that we will get there very fast, but you never know. So because the weekly candles don't really tell us anything anymore, because we're creating new all-time highs, we'll have to go and look for a lower time frame. What I like to do right now is just look at the move that initiated the move to the all-time high, which in this case is going to be this one. So I'm going to mark this a little bit, mainly because this is the move that I don't want Bitcoin to start trading below of. And this move is at 32k. So try and keep that in mind. I don't want Bitcoin to start closing below 32k, else I'm going to turn bearish and I will be leaving my spot Bitcoin, and I will also be trying to short the tops. So there is still not a lot of information that we can gather from this daily candle. So let's go down to the 4 hour. Here on the 4 hour, we can kind of start seeing a little bit more information. If we actually utilize the information I just told you about this daily candle, you can utilize it the same on the 4 hour right here. Where do we want Bitcoin not to close below? It's below this one. Currently, they're still holding this, so that's kind of nice. Now, if they do break this or start trading below this, so let's assume that in the coming evening or the coming day, Bitcoin will start trading below this level. If they do, then I'm expecting them to come back up, touch this zone, and after touching the zone, move back down, right? Now, why do I think that this will happen? Well, price can't go up forever. We have to go up, and now we come back down, and then we test things to check if we actually have lost something, or if you maybe have gained anything, right? Or achieved, depends, well, whatever name you want to call it, right? So for the bearish case scenario, or even the bullish case, this can also be a bullish case. I'm expecting them to actually come back down and test this daily range. Now, I'm not thinking that they will, when they come down here, I don't think they'll break it. Maybe what they can do is sweep it. So come back down all the way here, stop the people out that have their stop losses below here, and then move back higher. If we can sustain the 32k level, if we keep closing above it, then I'm quite certain that Bitcoin isn't done yet, and we will we will probably see us going up and trying to achieve these new all-time highs. This would be something like this. So making this move, coming back down, retesting the previous move to the all-time high right here, and then continuing our bull run all the way up. So this is the bullish case scenario, coming back down all the way here. Now, of course, if we don't retrace all the way to here, that's fine as well. We can just continue right here. But personally, I'm thinking that Bitcoin can be in for some kind of correction. If Bitcoin then gets into this nice zone right here, I will be looking for some very nice longs together and maybe run all the way to the new all-time high, wherever that the target might be, right? Now, for the bearish case scenario, this starting block will actually look the same. Now, it will look the same, but I will also be, well, it looks the same, but I will be targeting that Bitcoin starts trading below these moves. If Bitcoin starts trading in the lower block, then I'm actually turning more bearish, and then I might actually start shorting this. So let's just continue from this one. Let's say that we trade here for a little bit, we break out and come back up, then I'll be starting to short from this zone over here. Now, the reasoning of why is mainly because of the achievement and the losing of all these levels and why that happens. We teach that for free on our Twitch channel. So if you are interested in learning this kind of price action, feel free to check us out. We're free and we're 24/7 online. Now, so this is the bearish case. Why is it the bearish case? Because for me, if we traded here for quite a bit, then this zone, this upper zone, all of a sudden becomes a shorting zone for me. And I would be interested in taking all the shorting setup that I can up here. Now, does that mean that I can buy Bitcoin below here? Yeah, sure I can. So these are actually the two plays I will be looking out for Bitcoin. Now, there is maybe another long opportunity that I might have missed. It's not on the lower zone, but it's actually on the higher zone of this structure. So over here. Now, why would I say that this can be a buy as well? Well, because to make this new all-time high, we had to try and achieve these highs. And well, okay, we tested it right here, but it could be that we come back down, hold this, and then move higher as well. So that's another bullish case scenario. So that's kind of it for Bitcoin. Let's move over to XRP. Whew, what a kind of weeks has it been for XRP, man. Look at these movements. XRP has been really moving quite a bit, and if you're a trader, you've probably had your eyes on this pair. Now, I've had my eyes on this pair as well. There's been a lot of FUD, and that's actually kind of sad for the American people that are trading, because, well, it's hard for them to access XRP. But I think, well, the Europeans and people on Binance can still trade it, so it's still a nice one to still keep on watching. Now, let's have a look at what they have actually done in the past and where I might be interested in looking for longs or for shorts. So what they've actually done here is they've actually done an extended Quasimodo. If you don't know what a Quasimodo is, just come on to our channel and we'll tell you for free what a Quasimodo is. You can also Google Quasimodo pattern and then you will figure out what kind of pattern it is. It's a very good one. Now, after this Quasimodo pattern has happened, we could have actually looked at the weekly and we could have seen that we have had one weekly close below the move that brought us to this high. Now, closing one time below it doesn't mean isn't that bad, but it's not that bullish either. But then it will depend on the lower time frame what price might actually do. As you can see here, I drew a weekly level from the move that brought us to the high, and we've always been trading below it, right? So what we could have done here is we could have looked for some lower time frame setups in anticipation of moving higher. Now, what are we actually expecting right now for XRP? We want them to obviously start closing above this daily candle block that brought us to these lows, right? Now, the thing with this is it hasn't yet. So it might, if Bitcoin is going to retrace, which I'm thinking it will, it might come down as well. Now, where would you think that XRP might actually come down now? This weekly level that we all this time had to try and achieve, right? So now the real test for XRP is going to come. We've tested these highs. After testing these highs, we're going to go, if we can't achieve it, the higher probability is that we will go to the lows of the candle right here. So if Bitcoin is going to retrace, so I think that XRP will start retracing as well. Where will I be looking for my longs? I will be looking for my longs at 24 cents. At 24 cents, let's have a look at the lower time frame structure so we can get more detail into our technical analysis. So what I'm thinking is I'm still looking inside this box, and what I will be looking out for XRP is not buying with limit orders over here. But let's say that XRP is coming back down here, then I would be looking for a very simple higher low play and then buying the retracement right here where my arrow is right now, and my target would be these highs. That's how I would play it. That's the bearish case or even the bullish case, because if Bitcoin is going to retrace, I'm expecting all the alts to retrace and do some kind of pattern like this. So this would be my trade for XRP then. Now, what's the other case scenario? That's when Bitcoin starts achieving as well, and XRP might start achieve as well. Then I'm just expecting them to close one daily candle above here, come back down, test the zone, and then move higher. Now, if Bitcoin only does a small retracement as we talked about before, then I might actually be interested in having a target for XRP all the way up until 46 cents and even 58. So these would be my targets. As you can see, the risk to reward would be pretty big. more than 100% can be gained on this XRP trade, but you will need to have the patience to see if you will actually hold these levels. If they hold the level, look for a higher low play and play it, and then enjoy the ride. So that's it for XRP. Let's move over to Ethereum. So looking at Ethereum, this thing has been mooning quite hard as well. So maybe let's see where it's actually rejecting. Currently it's rejecting at the weekly top level of the previous all-time high. This is kind of an obvious place to start rejecting, because these highs are big profit targets for the bigger players that bought all the way down here. Because if you think about it, if we would start achieving these two levels, then the probability of us actually making a new all-time high are pretty high. That's why people also always take high profit targets at these weekly tops. Now, it has been blasting quite a bit, so let's look at where we might actually be interested in buying XRP when it does whatever. If XRP closes the way it closes right now, I might even be able and be interested in taking a weekly level setup. So what would the setup be? If it closes above this weekly, I will be interested in actually buying a retest of this level. As you can see, this has actually already happened on the daily. We had one close above this weekly green candle, and we came back down, immediately tested it and moved up. If we now can have two closes above this weekly candle, and with that close the weekly candle above it, this might become an actual new play as well. We wait for a higher low, wait for a retest, and then we buy the higher low in anticipation of creating a new all-time high. So that's our first setup. It's mainly a weekly based setup, but we have to execute it on a lower time frame. Now it will all depend if Ethereum can actually close pretty high. If Ethereum can't close pretty high and it's going to correct, maybe if Bitcoin is going to correct as well, then we will actually have to look where that price might actually bounce or hold. Now, I'll be honest, in this price action, there's not really a lot to look at where it might bounce. Well, we have this obvious trade right here. This is the origin swing of the move that brought us to the local high, right? So that would have been one, but maybe, well, it could have been that they already tested it, but yeah, well, let's say that they haven't. If they haven't, then in anticipation, we will be buying this lower zone. Now, I'll suggest you guys to be careful with placing limit orders over here, because they might actually sweep this, because this is the same side sweep. So I would recommend you guys to wait for a sweep. After the sweep happened, then play for your long setup. Now, if Bitcoin will correct, then I am not anticipating a new all-time high for ETH, but then I will have to look at the daily and go all the way to the left to look where we might actually find some decent support. I will have to go and look inside these candles of the previous all-time high and see where the previous all-time high actually found support, and there is a level where I will actually look for ETH to hold as well if Bitcoin starts correcting. Now, as you can see, this was the retracement line, and this was actually the higher low of that retracement line. I'm going to pick that one, and you can see that this level was kind of significant, because once we've lost it over here, we lost this whole structure here. So I'm going to take this line for my ETH correction, if it will correct a little bit as Bitcoin. If and only if this one doesn't hold, then I will look one deeper, and that will be over here. Okay, so these would be my two retracement levels for ETH if Bitcoin retraces and if this doesn't hold the weekly to go higher. Now, if it does hold this weekly and you get stopped out in the setup, don't worry too much. If it retraces on the 1075 or the 900 level, 911, sorry, it can still go for its all-time highs. So don't worry about that. We can, if you're feeling funky, you can go for a short as well on the lower time frames if you see that Bitcoin is going to correct. If Bitcoin is not going to correct, I will be looking for these two levels to actually hold, maybe have a higher low play, and then play it like I just explained on XRP as well. This is one of my bread and butter setups, so I suggest you, if you're really interested in trading purely price action, wait for these higher low plays and play them with a higher time frame setup. So that's it for ETH. Let's go over to Link. So looking at Link, this thing looks good as well. The weekly is also, well, they also almost did the same thing as ETH, but they slightly didn't get there to touch the weekly level of the previous all-time high. Now, I will still count it as a top side test, so I'm still going to mark these lower zones as an optional level of support when coming back down. So that's what I'm going to do. Let's have a look on the lower time frames to get more specific price action. As you can see, the previous lows here were actually held, and because they were held, we moved all the way to these tops to test the previous all-time highs. Well, they just didn't get there, but it was close enough. Right now, if we want to keep the bullish momentum going, we would like to price to actually stay above the 16.49, maybe even above 16 a whole, like above 16. Now, if Bitcoin is going to retrace, we can probably see Link going a little bit lower. And I would not want it to lose at least, well, I wouldn't want them to lose these zones. Why do I not want them to lose 13.5? This is kind of low, but this was mainly the move that initiated a lot. So this move initiated the move that brought us to the move to the high. Here it was tested a lot as well. Here it was tested as well before testing these highs. So we can see that this zone has a lot of significance. And now we actually break out of this zone. Okay, yeah, then it might have already tested, but that's not so important. When we go down, if we go down, then we really want to hold this $13 zone. So what I'm going to do if Bitcoin retraces is not look for longs over here. Maybe look for longs over here if it starts holding this level and accumulate on this level. If it holds here, then I'll just play my higher low play in anticipation for this 18.7 level. Now, if this breaks as well, depending how hard Bitcoin will correct, if it will correct, then I'm looking at this zone as a hold. And here I will really be very interested in looking for longs for this 18.7 level. This 18.7 level looks like a very nice target for me. I will probably be taking my longs if we get a higher low setup on this on this daily setup, but I'll be executing it on the 4 or the 1 hour, maybe even the 15 minute. And the main reason that I do that is because then the risk to reward, if you take a lower time frame setup, but you put your PTs in on a higher time frame, then your risk to reward will always be better. Our ending target will have something, maybe it might 9R. So yeah, that's kind of it already for Link. We can maybe anticipate for some shorts, but I'm not really going to go into that because, well, we are in a crypto bull market. Our main goal should be buying the lows and not shorting the pops. So yeah, that's kind of it. Thank you all for watching. I hope you really enjoyed this forecast. It's been a while since I've done one. I'm hoping I will be doing these more in the future again. So thank you all for being here. If you like what you're seeing, please check us out on Twitch. The link will be in the description. Be safe in the markets and enjoy your crypto gains. Skoller out. Bye.